Welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick, and today we're going to be looking at probably the closest thing to an indie classic that I can think of off the top of my head anyway. N. I mean, I'm pretty sure, hopefully all of you have heard of this by now. It's been around since 2005, somewhere around there, maybe earlier. It's actually had quite a lot of success. It's like one of the most addictive browser games that exists. And it's actually physics-powered, Flash and everything, and it even got a port over to Xbox Live Arcade, so it actually found a little bit of commercial success too. But the version I'm looking at is not N+, it's just regular N, and this is the one that is freely available online that you can go ahead and download or play for free either way. And it's just an outstanding action platformer, and I think I think Super Meat Boy actually owes a lot to this sort of a formula, because it sort of exists in more bite-sized levels than the majority of platformers out there that I can think of. So let's start up a brand new game. Obviously I've played this before, but it's been a while. I mean, I haven't really messed around with this one probably in a couple of years, even though I bought the Xbox Live Arcade game. So you'll notice your main character here, he's something like a ninja, and he moves around very fluidly with physics and inertia and all kinds of that kind of thing, velocity, and he's got kind of kludgy, kind of slow, momentum-based movement when it comes to jumping, but once you get onto a roll and things start to move... Oh, okay, well, that's the other thing. Yeah, there's physics, so death when falling. Once you start to get on a roll, though, and you start to feel a little bit more empowered by the way that the movement system works, you're actually going to start getting really into the controls, and they feel pretty nice once you're at that point. Like I said, though, it's been a very long time, so I'm totally out of practice, and I didn't go ahead and practice before this. And I know this is mostly a series of blind impressions videos, but every now and then I do need to cover a game that is extremely influential for one reason or another, and definitely worth the look, at least the public look. See, that's the thing, though. His jump is very, very shallow. It's very slow, and it's very... see, I can't even land on those. So you got to be a little creative when you go up some of these surfaces. You can wall jump, though, which is a big help. Oh, see, no, that is not right. I'm making myself look like a real idiot here because I can't even get through the first level quickly. But it's definitely a practice makes perfect type of game. Most likely you're going to flail about a bit like I am in your first few tries, even though this isn't my first few tries, which is sad. So the goal is to open each door and collect as many of these little gold nuggets as possible, because they extend your time, which you'll notice at the very top of the screen is slowly ticking down. They actually give you ample time at the beginning, but things start to get a little bit more hectic, obviously, as we continue, and the developer starts to introduce lots of new elements and dangers and traps and all kinds of stuff. I do like sort of the organic level of level design. If you'll notice, most of these surfaces, they don't actually form 90-degree angles. I mean, of course, some of them do, but there's a lot of very rounded edges and an interesting color scheme. I mean, everything's sort of monochromatic, gray, black, white areas within. And I think it actually works pretty well as far as theme goes. What is this? Oh, that's the gate. Right, so I've got to hit... Oh, crap. I missed the top left corner gate, which is going to actually open another door. Why are there two doors? I feel like the levels got harder since I haven't played this in a while. They seem more complex. Oh, is that like the secret special door? I have to not fall to my death here. And I probably didn't really need to get that, but I thought I would anyway. And down we go, down we go. So there's tons and tons of levels for this. As you saw, the main menu, it's going to take you a really long time to finish this. And on top of taking you a long time to finish it, there's also... Oh, how nice. There are also user-created levels, so that kind of wasn't very good. Oh, and the longer you hold down the button, the higher you jump, just like in Meat Boy, which is kind of an important thing to note, because sometimes you sort of get into this feeling like if you don't, no matter how hard you press it, or no matter how long you press it, you're just going to sort of keep going. Oh, that's not going to work. But no, this is one of those games where you have to be a bit more sensitive. I bet if I was really skilled, I could like... Oh yeah, no, that's not right. I could just sort of hop up in between all of these mines. Maybe that's not actually a possibility at all. I was kind of curious to see... No. I think it might be possible, but it's not going to be likely. Anyway, I just sort of wanted to also show off the physics system, because I think that was the reason that a lot of us got into this game in the first place, was how ridiculous the death animations can be. Because when you die hard most of the time. Like Bruce Willis hard. And watching your limbs fly around in every possible direction can be a strangely satisfying experience. Not sure why. That is not what I meant to do at all. Will I live? No. But by the same token, as awesome and as accessible and fun that this game can be, it can also be very frustrating. This is very, very early in the game, and they're already throwing walls full of mines at you. Later on, there will be rocket launchers and laser cannons, just about every method of death imaginable. And then the time element will become a factor too. Oh, okay, so we've got jump pads here. Jump pads I can handle, those are not too stressful. But those lasers, man, once we get lasers involved, and rockets, and seeking drones, it gets to be pretty scary stuff. Alright, where's the... Okay, the exit's up on the top right. Let's make our way over there. I love these, like, squishy blocks. That's what I've always called them. They just sort of bounce around, they're sort of fun and nice. This actually reminds me of a really old game that I don't expect anybody to know about, but I played it a lot when I was a kid, called Space Station Theta for Mac, for like 68K Mac. Why did I just do that? That was not a good idea. Look at these weird shark fins over here. Space Station Theta was like a tile-based platformer where you jumped like up 1 and over 3 every single time. There, I just needed to die so I could reset this. And you were basically running out of air, so you had to keep looking for all these different, power-ups to make sure that you would live long enough to finish each level. And it's not really an exceptional game, per se, like, by now. At this point, we've seen a lot of platformers that have covered that ground and more. But at the time, I mean, it was like early 90s, I'd say. And there really weren't a lot of things out there. I mean, it certainly didn't have a physics system or anything, but it was very entertaining, and it reminds me a lot of this game. I'm sure they have nothing to do with each other, it's just coincidence. In the rare chance that there's someone out there who actually did play Space Station Theta, shout out to you. So I'm starting to notice again that the controls leaves something to be desired, in my opinion, but I have to say the bar was really raised when Meat Boy came out, and I don't feel like there's a lot of games that really have controls that good anymore, or ever. It's a rare feat. Alright, I gotta really make sure I get this jump. Oh, come on. I think the problem is if, see, I mapped all the controls over to my 360 controller like I so often do, and I think if I try to press and hold jump, a lot of times the D-pad will override me holding jump. So yeah, so I go to move right, and then I put myself in an impossible position. Oh, and I forgot, we can watch replays. Probably not like you would want to watch that replay, but it is there. Yeah, that's definitely kind of a boring replay. Let's not watch that one. But let's actually just win this level. How about that? Can we do that? Oh, come on. Maybe I'll just use the arrow keys for this one jump. There's what is it, like 100 levels or something? There's a freaking ton of levels. And beyond that, there's also some unlockables. I think you can get different themes for your ninja by beating certain points. I guess I have to say this game isn't terribly bad for a keyboard. I'm generally against keyboard for most platformers, but for this game, it sort of was really meant to be played on the keyboard, which is probably why the controls were designed the way they were. Because it's actually quite a bit easier. Let's not die at this point. Yeah, I actually found that to be a lot easier to do on the keyboard now. Oh boy, episode 0 complete. Spacebar to continue. Alright, so now the actual game starts. That was just the warm-up act. And we're going to have some actual problems. Not like we didn't have problems before, but okay, screw those guys. Oh, and you know the other reason I like to do joystick or controller-based is because I think for recording it makes a lot less clacking noise. I don't know if you guys care about that, but I think it kind of comes across a little lame. I mean, I don't really have like a good sound isolation setup, so I have to do what I can to make sure the sound quality sounds fine. And little things like using a controller, I think they do make some little bit of a difference. I don't feel very ninja-like right now. I really got to work on my ninjaing. Pretty sure that's not a word though. These guys home. Yep, so meant to jump there, didn't happen. I'm going to go back to the keyboard actually again. I really feel like I'm doing better. Why is spacebar not jump? That's very strange to me. You can probably remap the keys and stuff, but I just would expect that spacebar would be jump, because it's just always that. In this case, it's shift. There's also an auto kill button in case you get yourself into a position where you're wasting your own time, which is on K. I haven't used that yet, but I'm sure you could use it to set up some interesting death scenarios where you fall and kill yourself. Okay, I was going to hope that wasn't going to kill me. There we go. Are we going to get into the hard stuff yet, or what are we doing here? Level loaded. Alright, let's go. It's got one-way platforms. Don't really need those because I can wall jump. Tag that switch. Oh, and then we've got those drones. These are from, like, basically the ones from Mega Man, if you remember, the ones that you can't kill them, and if you shoot at them, they spring around, and then as soon as you touch the surface that they're attached to, they come after you. At least I think that's how they work. You know, for a game that wants to have so much parkour, it seems like you spend a lot of time, like, not really able to build up very much momentum. Maybe that's just me, though. Probably the speedrunners out there are just in paradise when they play this game. Why would you go up the outside? There's literally no point. There's nothing up there. Just that thing that'll kill you. Okay, very nice. Lots of rounded edges in this one. Usually a good thing when there's rounded edges. I find when I play this on a controller, I start holding down the right trigger as if I am playing Meat Boy. That's kind of funny. Not doing it intentionally, just happens. I quite like the level design when it's emphasizing more of a path through the level. A lot of these are sort of built in a very open manner that you could really traverse them in a lot of ways. And that's fine, but I find that if you're trying to do a speedrunning type of game, that it sort of makes a little more sense to me anyway, that you would have a path that is sort of desirable to go down. I'm really bad at building up momentum, it seems. Alright, so we've got, looks like a bunch of gates. Oh, I gotta hit these switches, which are strangely placed up here. And then slide down and not die. Can always get some of those gold nuggets in there somewhere too. I think I'm gonna actually have to slide from the top. I probably wasn't supposed to go that way. Bet that thing can crush me too. See, if you're trying to make a fast-paced game, like making your dude wait on this elevator for a really long time doesn't seem like a good plan to me. So I should be able to hit both of these in one go if I get lucky. Oh, great. Jump didn't take. There we go. Alright, now go back up. And then that lets me hit the actual final switch. And that's going to be a laser cannon. Yeah, so that's what those do. We're going to start seeing lots more problematic functions like the laser cannon and rocket launchers, and then they're going to start crossing over, and we'll have multiple things competing to kill me as fast as possible. This is going to be a tricky one. Alright, I'm going to have to probably make my way up the right edge. Nope. Okay. Man, this guy's got to be a pain in the butt. Thankfully, he only sees you in, like, the direction he's facing. Or maybe one direction other than that direction, but either way, it's always annoying when he wants to turn at the worst least opportune moment. Get that gold! Uh-oh. There we go. Don't kill me! Damn it. I've never been good at judging exactly where the height is that kills you every time. Especially with the kind of slow motion nature when you jump off walls, it seems like it's kind of hard to judge your velocity as well. Oh, come on. Hey, I lived through that. I definitely shouldn't have lived there. I'd actually really like to see this game get like a nice update where, you know, do the level design over, remodernize it, make the physics system feel really tight. Oh, come on. Yeah, so we're getting into the slightly frustrating realm here, and we're still very, very, very early in the game. I was just sort of trying to get him out of the way so he doesn't come after me so much. Also a little sad that there doesn't seem to be much in the way of sound effects and music. It's just basic stuff. I think if anything, this game could really go for a nice chiptune soundtrack. I guess I'm probably thinking that also since I've actually heard that happen already on the 360 version. But, you know, it's free, so it's not like I can really complain. Why would you be there at that exact moment? Okay, so I really suck at N, it's clear. I am not an expert. I'm not even 10% as good at this as I am at Meat Boy. Practice clearly makes perfect, and I am way out of practice. See, there's some velocity for you. Velocity girl. Remember that? Microsoft press conference? That was ridiculous. Alright, so that's more like what a wall jump should look like. Are you really? Yeah, you are. Okay, I think we're going to wrap this one up. You guys can go on and play the Classic N by following the link that I will put in the description. I'm sure you've probably all played it already. Oh man, he's just going to beat my corpse. That is not very nice of you. And you can go and make your own levels, play custom levels, beat the whole thing. It's going to take you a really long time, but I hope you enjoy it. And, you know, in the rare event that you haven't played it already, I'm talking about. And that will wrap us up for today. Make sure you head on over to www.indie-impressions.com, where I put every night's video. You can also check out the Facebook page, facebook.com/indieimpressions, and my two Twitters, @RockLeeSmile and @indieimpression. Feel free to follow me on there and suggest games or chat with me about whatever is going on in your indie world. So that will wrap us up for today. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you come back again tomorrow because I do these videos every single night. Alright, have a lovely night, guys. See you later.